Lauren Smith Fields was a 23-year-old woman from Bridgeport, Connecticut, whose life was tragically cut short under suspicious circumstances on December 12, 2021. Lauren was a beautiful Black woman who enjoyed traveling and spending time with the people she loved. She was described as being someone that was full of laughs, kind, funny, and ambitious. She was also athletic. While attending Stamford High School, she was on the track team. Lauren was extremely driven. She was studying to become a physical therapist at Norwalk Community College and taking cosmetology classes. She had her own side business to help her pay for her classes, and she also had a bit of a social media presence. She ran a YouTube channel where she showed her wig installations and her daily life. On Instagram, she had a couple thousand followers who got the opportunity to see her live out her life through her pictures. Through her photos on Instagram, you can just tell she was living her best life. Lauren had her whole life ahead of her, which is why her untimely death is so tragic. On December 13th, 2021, family members of Lauren tried calling her to get in contact with her, but were having no luck. After attempts to get in contact with her by phone failed, her mother, Chantel Fields, along with one of Lauren's brothers, decided to go to her apartment. When they got there, they didn't find Lauren. Instead, they found a note left on her door that read, "If you're looking for Lauren, call this number." The number provided on the note belonged to Lauren's landlord. It was him who informed them of Lauren's passing. She had been found unresponsive in her apartment. Right off the bat, Lauren's family were not happy with Bridgeport Police Department's handling of the case. The police were not the ones to contact them in regards to Lauren's case. It was, in fact, the family who contacted Bridgeport Police Department and the detective on the case to get confirmation of Lauren's death. When they got in contact with those on the case, they were not only told that Lauren had passed away, but also that she had met with an older man she met through a dating app called Bumble. It was actually in the presence of this unknown white man that Lauren became unresponsive, and it was him who called 911. This immediately alarmed the family for obvious reasons, and they questioned the police about this mystery man their daughter met with. The man in question is Matthew LaFountain. According to what was in the incident report, LaFountain's version of that night is that Lauren asked him for $40 to get her nails done and asked him to meet her at her apartment. When he got there, both him and Lauren had taken shots of tequila. At some point during the evening, Lauren became ill and went into the bathroom to throw up. She then returned not so long after, and they continued to drink. During this time, they ate food, played games, and began watching a movie before Lauren received a text message and stepped outside to retrieve something from one of her brothers. When she returned, she went back into the bathroom for another 10 or 15 minutes. The report goes on to state that Lauren and LaFountain eventually continued watching the movie and finished a bottle of tequila before Lauren fell asleep. LaFountain claims to have carried Lauren to her bedroom where they both slept. When he had woken up at 3 a.m. to use the restroom, Lauren was snoring. But when he woken up again at 6, Lauren was lying on her right side with blood coming out of her right nostril, and she wasn't breathing. LaFountain says he called 911 after finding Lauren like that. Lauren's landlord was contacted after police arrival, but he didn't have her family's contact information, so he left a note on the door, which is the note her mother and brother saw when they went looking for her on December 13th. There was no mention of police detaining LaFountain for questioning in the report, despite the report stating that the patrol officer noted that the man was frantic. Also in the report, police had confiscated Lauren's phone, $1,345 in cash, keys, and her passport. The family has spoken out about the blatant disregard the Bridgeport Police Department has shown for Lauren's case. Everett Smith, Lauren's father, stated that the family has had to deal with a very insensitive, condescending, and arrogant detective. Lauren's mother, Chantel, had written a letter to the Bridgeport Police Department in regards to her daughter's case when the police wouldn't disclose any information to the family, and she received no response. At one point, they were told to blatantly stop calling the police department. When the family were finally allowed to go into Lauren's apartment to clean it out on December 29th, just 3 days after Lauren her arrest, they were angered at the amount of evidence that police missed or simply left behind. There was a used condom in the trash with semen in it, lubrication, cups with alcohol, flipped plates, bloody sheets, and an unidentified pill. Yet police left all the evidence behind. The lead detective on the case, Cronin, is now being investigated by Internal Affairs, and the case has been reassigned to a Detective Garcia, who the family has described as being unprofessional during their interaction. The city medical examiner has not released a cause of death for Lauren, but her family has hired an independent examiner due to how Lauren's case has been mishandled. They have not released the findings of their independent autopsy. Lauren's family has set up a GoFundMe so they can continue to investigate her death for themselves and give her the justice she deserves. Her family just wants to know the truth about what happened to Lauren and for the person responsible to be held accountable. If you have any information regarding Lauren's case, please contact the Bridgepoint Police Department.